Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. In this video, I am going to start with the fifth passage of your book, Class 12th Alternative English Nagaland Board, which is an efficient workforce. So in my previous videos, I have already discussed with you the first four comprehension passages given under the head of reading skills, and this one is the fifth passage. We have so far very well understood the technique of attempting a reading section. We know that we are supposed to first skim through the passage and then read the passage in detail, underlining whatever difficult or important words and phrases that we come across. Using the same technique, we shall now see and try and solve the fifth passage given in your book. So the title of the passage is An Efficient Workforce. So we are talking about somebody who's very efficient when it comes to working. So let us see whom we are talking about in this passage. Do you know that 1 in every 3 bites of your food is due to the efforts of industrious pollinator insects like bees and butterflies? Almost 90% of the world's plants rely on pollinators like bees and butterflies for fertilization and reproduction. So, every 3 bites of the food that we eat is due to the industrious, hard-working pollinator insects such as the bees and the butterflies. 90% of the world's plants, they depend on these pollinators only for fertilization and for reproduction. This includes 75% of our food crops, including everything from apples, tomatoes, cashew nuts to chocolates, coffee and strawberries. Pollinators visit the flowers on plants to obtain their food, that is nectar and pollen, and in return pollinate them. So how does this entire process take place? These pollinators, that is the bees and the butterflies, they go on to the plants, the flowers of the plants to be precise, to suck the nectar out of them. Nectar, the sweet liquid out of them. And in return of their food, what do they give to the plant? They pollinate them. Plants and pollinators have a close relationship, and the loss of either affects the survival of both. So plants and pollinators are closely connected. The plants are not there, the pollinators will not be able to survive, and if the pollinators are not there, the plants will not be able to. The French National Institute for Agricultural Research has valued pollinators' contributions to global agriculture at more than $200 billion a year. So according to the French National Institute for Agricultural Research, the crop production that takes place because of the pollinators actually values more than $200 billion a year. Though the services of the bees and other humble pollinators are essential for the survival of our ecosystem, the population of this gigantic, extremely efficient workforce is decreasing the world over. So, the services of these bees and these small pollinators, they are very essential for the survival of the ecosystem. But the population of these pollinators is actually decreasing across the world. Honeybees, both wild and domestic, perform about 80% of all pollination worldwide. So honeybees, they perform 80% of the pollination worldwide. A single bee colony can pollinate 3 million flowers each day. In India, honeybees have played an important role in creation as well as the conservation, the protection of the biodiversity in tropical forests. They have been responsible for the gradual development of many plant species, wild fruits and trees. And it is because of the efforts of these honeybees only that we have seen the development of many plant species, fruits as well as trees. However, today the survival of honeybees in India is threatened by various factors. So there are a lot of factors which are causing a threat to the survival, which are creating a danger for the survival of the honeybees. The use of pesticides on agriculture and horticultural crops have had devastating effects on honeybees, a very negative effect on honeybees. These tiny insects die when they come in contact with the harmful chemical residues. Residues remains. So these small chemical that remains on the soil or on these plants, the moment the bees come in contact with that chemical, they die. Rock bees, widely found in India, build hives on treetops in the forest. As forests are cut down, bee nesting sites are destroyed. The bee population has declined because bees are disturbed by air and noise pollution and disoriented by radiation signals from mobile phones and towers. So, the rock bees, which are widely found in India, they used to build their nests on the top of the trees. But now that the trees are being cut down, obviously it is being very difficult for them to find a place to build their nests. Moreover, the increasing pollution, air pollution, noise pollution, the radiation that is increasing all around us is making it very difficult for these bees to survive. In India, the Central Bee Research and Training Institute is working hard to create awareness among people about the importance of bees. So, Central Bee Research and Training Institute in India is working very hard to create awareness among people about the importance of bees. After honeybees, butterflies play a crucial role in pollinating crops and flowering plants. Butterflies are an indicator of environmental health, but their numbers in India have decreased. So you see, the butterflies are very important in India, but again, they are getting extinct gradually. Around 100 butterfly species are on the verge of extinction. They are on the edge of being extinct. This has been caused by the destruction of forest cover, of poaching, hunting, killing butterflies for using them as decorative items. India's Wildlife Protection Act 1972 has listed 450 butterfly species. Collecting these butterfly species from the wild or threatening their habitats is prohibited and is a punishable offense. So, according to this Wildlife Protection Act, neither can you collect a butterfly nor can you destroy its habitat. American biologist E.O. Wilson said, if human beings were to disappear tomorrow, the world would go on with little change. But if insects were to disappear, I doubt the human species could last more than 3 months. So according to the American biologist, if the human beings die, it will affect the earth but only very little. But if the insects die, the human species will not be able to survive for more than 3 months. So this very well explains to us the importance of these insects and pollinators in our nature. So you see, my dear students, again, it was so easy for us to go through the passage and to understand what it is trying to explain through. Let us move on to the discussion of the back exercises. Yes. Why has the bee population declined? So why has the bee population declined? Again, we have very well discussed it in the passage that, the bee population has declined because they always build their nests on the top of a tree. And now the trees are being cut down. Moreover, because of the air and noise pollution and because of the radiation which is emitted by the the towers and because of the mobile towers that are planted every now and then, the population is getting extinct. Who are pollinators and why are they important for the ecosystem? So who are pollinators? Pollinators are these small insects such as the bees, the honeybees, the butterflies. And why are they important for the ecosystem? Because they help in transferring the pollens or the seeds from one place to the other. Okay. So, what is the protection granted to butterflies under the Wildlife Protection Act of India? So, under the Wildlife Protection Act of India, it is punishable as well as prohibited for one to capture a butterfly or to destroy its. Okay. How do butterflies contribute to the ecosystem? So, how do the butterflies contribute to the ecosystem? Again, butterflies pollinators. They help in transferring the pollens from one place to the other place, thereby resulting in the growth of new plants and new, species of crops. Why is the honeybee population on decline? We have already discussed that the honeybee population is declining because their habitat is in danger now. Moreover, due to the increasing air pollution and noise pollution and the radiation, they are finding it difficult to survive. Okay, think and answer. Think and answer. What can do you understand by the butterfly effect? Now, this is a scientific concept which obviously you'd be able to find in detail once you go through it. So, butterfly effect is basically the idea that the small things can have an impact on something which is very complex in terms, The bees and butterflies that might seem to be very small, very petite, actually have a huge impact on the entire ecosystem. How can the humans contribute towards protecting the pollinators? Again, by protecting our habitat, by conserving our nature, by not bothering and troubling these petty pollinators. I think that is all that we can do to help them. Okay. Choose the words from the passage which mean the same as following. Important. There are two words which can mean important, essential and crucial. So, any of these two can be used. Edge is verge, remains is resume, damaging is devastating, and protection is sponsor. So, you see, my dear students, we've discussed the most appropriate way of attempting your reading section. And the 5 passages which were given in your book, we've discussed them to the length. Now, I believe it will be clear to each one of you on how to attempt your reading section.